Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to UX, and this is US downed 6 Iranian missile overnight. This is by the channel Fox. This is the channel that broke the news. Yeah, I usually don't do videos like this where there is no specific video, but I find news channels sometimes when there are significant things happening. I guess it's happening right now because, like US is actively defending against onslaught of Iranian missile from, to the, Arabic countries like Kuwait, Qatar, right? There's another video from Tutsi TV about protest. I was wrong. I've said this many times. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments, oh, how you were wrong. It doesn't happen often. Enjoy it. But yeah, I was wrong. I thought I don't see protests happening. Apparently it is happening. It's going to be interesting. Let's do this one.
All right, we're going to move on to this because in the Middle East, the U.S. and Iran have been exchanging strikes overnight. Madeline Rivera joins us from Washington, D.C. with the latest on these strikes. Maddie, good morning.
Good morning. The U.S. says it was able to stop 6 missiles that Iran fired towards Kuwait and Bahrain. A 7th missile did not reach its target. SATCOM says Iran launched the missiles after the U.S. shot down 4 Iranian one-way attack drones that were heading towards the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. also hit Iranian coastal surveillance radar sites in Gorak and on Keshem Island. The latest exchange comes as the U.S. and Iran struggle to reach a deal. The president says part of the reason why Iran hasn't agreed to his terms is because they're proud.
But if they're so desperate, Mr. President, why haven't they said yes to the terms you're proposing?
Strong. They're proud. There are things they never thought they'd be doing that they're going to have to do. They've got no choice. And it takes a little while. You're talking about 47 years of getting away with whatever they wanted.
The president also estimated how much drone and missile capability.
Is that the right way of saying it? Iran is strong and proud. Look, I would not pull down any country because it's a country. Countries are powerful. So Iran is powerful, but let's not get it twisted. This statement feels weird because strong is not the word I would use if I were American president. Strong from that perspective doesn't work. I think there is more deeper analysis there. IRGC, there hasn't thing happened yet that would make IRGC think that we have to back down. IRGC doesn't care if bombing increases. IRGC doesn't care if their own people starves because it's an authoritarian regime. It's not a democracy. It's not like people are going to revolt and IRGC will step down. No, IRGC will just claim America is doing this and we have to withstand even if our own people die by starvation, famine, whatever. So they can weather this storm if they survive. But the end thing is we can't let go of uranium. That's their stance. So they can do this because they are not a democracy. In that way, sure, they're strong. Because there is no political pressure there, they can just stay there. Unless massive protest happens, which like I said, there's a video we're going to watch, maybe that's happening, who knows?
Abilities Iran has left.
We know where their drones are, and we know where their drone factories are. Most of the drone factories have been knocked out. Most of the launching pads have been knocked out, and most of the missile manufacturing areas have been knocked out. But they still have capacity. They have some missiles. They have some drones. I would say percentage-wise, maybe 21, 22% of their missiles. It's a lot of missiles, but it's not what it was when we first attacked.
An Iranian military advisor says Iran must have access to billions of dollars in frozen assets, calling it trust building. Until then, he indicates negotiations may remain at a standstill. Charlie, Rachel, and Griff.
Be sure to like and subscribe for.
So yeah, I mean, that was interesting how Trump is saying all those things. I mean, I don't think anything have changed. Anyone that knows about military at all knew this. US did not destroy all of them, as people sometimes even question me. How do you think US is going to destroy all of them? That's not how it works. Some of them are still left. 20% to me, it feels like it's a lot. If that's true, I feel like I would have thought something in single digit or 10%. 20% is a lot of stockpile. If that survives, that's a problem. right? And yeah, that element always was there, that IRGC might not back down because they don't have to. Imagine if you invaded North Korea. You think Kim Jong-un is just gonna like walk away because you're damaging things? No, he'll weather the storm. If people suffer, the person's not gonna care because it's an authoritarian regime. Regime has to survive. Anything else doesn't matter. So unless massive protests happen, regime is not gonna care. So none of this is surprising. There you go.
And the US government have confirmed they will no longer talk to the regime in Iran and things will escalate. All right. Young people in Iran and students have risen up in over 20 cities to fight against the government's failure to do the basics. Forget about safety, forget about freedom. Also, to create a brighter future. Let's go to the first video. I'll translate the chants.
This, I don't want to sound like Dr. Murrow, but this is surprising because people were genuinely afraid, rightfully so, because whoever protested last time were hunted down and a lot of them were deleted. So this takes balls. Getting recording like that, your face is recorded, that takes balls. Because last time when that happened, a lot of people got deleted.
So you can see the weather is getting slightly warmer now. In Iran, the sun is out. It's no longer in the middle of winter where the uprising happened, of course, with rain and snow and everything else. Everybody is coming out. So the chant in this video was that students, we will rather die than accept humiliation by the Islamic occupiers. And the next video that we have from today in Iran is protesters telling others, this is the infamous chant that they've always had, don't be afraid, we are all together, to encourage all the others and the students to join. Yeah, don't be afraid, we are all together. Latest reports we have is that the protest initially started in the capital, Tehran, Kermanshah, Esfahan, which is the third largest city, Kashan, Yazd, also the major cities in the province of Pars, including Shiraz, Markazi, and also now we are getting updates from Mashhad, which is the second largest city. Let's go. So we're not going anywhere. We will.
Internet was restored, what, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? Do you think that had a hand in this? Because last protest happened months ago. And then a lot of people got deleted, then internet was shut off and no protest happened. But Iran finally restored the internet and now protest is happening. So I guess you need some level of connection in mass in order to coordinate something. Even if people want to do something, like some kind of like back and forth. WhatsApp maybe, or anything, Telegram or something. To create some kind of movement before they can like decide, yeah, let's do protest. Maybe that was the reason. So now since internet is there, they can do this.
Stay here, we are not going anywhere. Yeah, of course, doing protests against the Islamic occupation is quite dangerous, as you've also seen back in December and January. Having said that, the regime is getting weaker every day because thanks to President Trump and the US military, because President Trump...
Seriously, man. Right now, IRGC might be a wounded animal. This protest might get worse result than the last time. They might come out with machine guns. They did do that last time. They brought Iraqi militias to suppress their own people, which is like, any place, even North Korea or anything, like if you want to suppress your people, at least they use their own military. Bringing out Iraqis to do that is just like, I don't know, man.
Trump has not abandoned the mission, as you've seen over the last couple of months and few weeks. The US military continues their operation against the regime in the Strait of Hormuz. The blockade continues. There have been some clashes, but of course the blockade is doing its job, draining the resources, draining the finances of the regime, creating uncertainty and infighting inside the regime. And that's why the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps are trying their best to drag the Americans and everybody else and the Arabs into an all-out war, because it's in the interest of the regime in Iran to have an all-out war, because at least it will create unity inside the regime and they could just drag this along. But the US decided not to take the bait and continue to paralyze the regime. We also started getting some updates from the IRGC airbase in the city of Shiraz. There has been yet another mysterious explosion or a gas leak that has resulted in a massive fire.
It was Dumbledore. Awakat, whatever that thing is, I even forgot the term. Yeah, it was magic. Or maybe it's one of the people sabotaging your own base because people are angry.
We have a couple of images for you guys from this morning in Iran, in Shiraz. We obviously don't technically know what caused this. The IRGC will probably tell you that this is just a gas leak. I don't think, unless they want to say that this was, they can't really say this was an unexploded bomb that they had to do controlled explosion, because based on the reports that we have, it did not seem like that. There must be some sort of sabotage, or somebody messed up something in the kitchen and don't know how to cook. So we don't know exactly what they're doing. Let's quickly go to more footage from the protests today across the cities in Iran.
It is interesting that a lot of major cities are erupting now with protests. This might be another wave of protests that we might hear about for weeks, intensifying. But now it would be interesting what Trump does. Last time Trump was not prepared or not involved. Now Trump is here. Operation did happen 2 months ago. US military is there. So if IRGC starts to clamp down on the civilians, on the protester, what would Trump do now? I think this would be one of the clear signs where Trump, like, even if nothing else, even because of political pressure alone, I must act. That might result in more bombings, if nothing else, right? So this time would be interesting to see what happens. Oh, Kuwait.
Just a bit of a warning, if you are watching from the Middle East, the next video is going to include sirens, so you might want to turn it down, the volume, otherwise your neighbors would freak out. This is just before the IRGC attacks started.
This siren thing reminds me, my nephew was playing some kind of a, I think it was Roblox or something, I don't know, a game on the tablet, Samsung tablet, right? And it has such a good stereo speaker that there was a siren playing inside that panicked me for a second. Like, oh my God, is this Pakistan thing again? Is this an actual siren? I went close to the door and realized it's coming from the tab. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, sirens have some weird effect, man. Okay.
All right. We then received this video from the Islamic Republic State Media, or the IRIB, showing that their Air Force, well, the Aerospace Force, what they call it, released the footage saying that they launched the MRD, this is the medium range ballistic missiles, or the MRBMs, towards Kuwait this morning. Problem with this is that I don't understand why they would launch medium range ballistic missiles. This is a very important point, by the way. Let's just quickly show you this footage. I'm going to explain why this could be problematic for the regime in Iran. And they literally filmed this. These are the MR medium range ballistic missiles.
I like how they're just not prepared even for the camera. The launch throws away the camera. Ballistic missile is one of the crudest thing there is. Launch it and forget it because it's like a rock. You throw it and just falls. No control, no nothing. This is like, oh, there you go. You are launching on another Islamic country. Around this time, why are you chanting God's name? Because you are launching a missile with the same religion. Anywhere else, it makes sense to me. Like any other country, like Israel makes sense, America makes sense. It's a, like Jewish, Christian, different religion. If you're launching missile at the countries like Kuwait, even Saudi Arabia is the holy country. The most holy sites of Islam is in Saudi Arabia. So if you launch missiles there and then chant God's name, what does that even mean?
Now, considering that they did the launch from the southern parts of Iran, literally 2 seconds away from Kuwait, they really did not need to use their medium-range ballistic missiles. Now, why is it that they are using them? Do they have a problem with locating or using their normal missiles, short range? Are they having problems with the ballistic missile launchers? Are they running out or running short at least on the short range missiles? Have they messed up their procurement or...
Wait a minute, what is the speed of medium? I need to check this. Well, there you go. The Gemini, Google, is telling me that medium range ballistic missile speed is Mach 7 to Mach 15. There's a big range, almost double range of the speed. But yeah, it's that speed. Now, what is the speed of low range ballistic missile in Iran? That must have been the case. The thing here is that the speed of medium range is more than twice. So they probably thought these are going to be hard to intercept. So if they'll launch that, maybe they won't be intercepted. That must have been the case. Even the range is no longer there, the speed is higher.
Basic transport of missiles amongst the IRGC military. It's, yeah, the whole thing is a little bit weird.
Oh, there you go, a video from Bahrain.
So this is in the early hours, well, a few hours ago. Obviously, the video footage is not the best, but you're going to be...
I'm skipping this because it's like an hour-long stream. I can't react to... You're not going to watch it. So I'm just skipping to where I think there's like interesting point is. I'm not watching it in advance, but I'm just judging from what I see here.
Able to see the dots in a second. At the top, there we go. There's one there. All being intercepted. Also, air defenses in Bahrain were activated within seconds, which is quite impressive. Let's go.
Patriot? Is it Patriot? Because if they intercepted a medium range Mach 7 to Mach 10 ballistic missile, that's good. Look at them go.
The fascinating thing about this is that if you watch CNN, some people do, I don't know why, or CNBC, obviously the narrative is the exact opposite. That for some reason the Islamic Republic have been winning, not just winning, well, they won apparently, but apparently the US government and US military have ended the operations of the left.
There is a guy on YouTube as well, Midas Touch or something. It always has this Trump's face of like, oh, and like, oh, Iran responded and Trump couldn't, like bear it. I'm like, you talking about US military, ignore Trump. You hate Trump, fine, I don't care. Trump is here, Trump will not be there tomorrow. Tomorrow means like next election, whatever. Presidents are short term. US military will still be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. You're talking about US military. US military did not lose. Not to Iran. What are you, high?
Basically, the regime in Iran are doing great, considering that the US military have not stopped. and President Trump has not stopped. They are continuing to destroy the regime from within, and it's working. The plan has been working for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the damage that's been caused since the so-called ceasefire started has been irreversible. And right now, the regime don't know how they're going to...
These are the facts. A lot of major military industrial things in Iran, a lot of them were destroyed. Launchers, missile stockpiles, a lot of manufacturing industries, factories. These are capabilities that were destroyed, point blank. Whatever happens next, Iran doesn't have that right now. This did happen, regardless of your view. This is a fact. Another fact is US has been blockading Iran, and that has been hurting IRGC and their fund because they're losing money. That has an effect. That is also a fact. Now you can argue like, okay, is Trump doing this right? Is this the right way of doing it? Is Trump fumbling? You can argue all that, but the fact is all of these things did happen. And to say that Iran is winning and none of this thing actually happened, and oh, by the way, how Israel is destroyed, and picking and choosing some scenarios, it's like, here's 100% of the picture, 89% of like American dominant, let's find that 11% and pick and choose from the 11% and show the picture like it's 90% of just that. It's not. This is lying by omission because you're not showing the full picture. A lot of left-wing channels in YouTube and CNN does that a lot. I didn't know this was real, by the way. I'm finding this out very recently. I'm surprised that this happened at this level.
Find a way out. They really don't want to sign a deal. Well, they want to sign a deal, but they don't want to sign the surrender deal. And that's why they keep sending stupid proposals. And of course, President Trump keeps saying no. All he has to say is just say no. Because right now, the US military squeezing the IRGC is a one-way attack. The IRGC are trying to force everybody to take debate. It's not really working well so far. And last night and this morning, there were so many opportunities because it escalated very badly, both in Kuwait and...
Every launch that IRGC does, US is taking notes of where it came from, and if they're hiding, where can they hide from here? And create a very probable scenario of where the site is, and they're just taking notes. You do this enough, there'll be one wave of strike from America that will bomb all of them with bunker busters. In just one full sweep, all of them will be destroyed because that's America. They already did that first time. If people can't understand that, if those like, oh, I hate Trump, so I hate America as well, people don't understand that, you're living in your own bubble. I know you want to close your eyes and wish the world would be different. The fact is, this is the world. This is what US military does. And that will happen. They're just taking notes.
Bahrain, but the plan remains exactly the same. US Central Command released this video and the statements saying US forces intercepted multiple Iranian ballistic missiles and drones launched by Iran towards the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf neighbors. Iran fired 7 ballistic missiles towards Kuwait and Bahrain hours after the US Central Command...
This is the difference between two powers, people. If this doesn't, you don't understand this, you'll never understand anything. One side cannot even touch the other side, so they bomb their neighbors, even in which they're launching ballistic missile that they're hoping it would hit, while the other side, United States, is literally watching like it's a movie on a screen and pressing button and bombing things and watching it live getting bombed. Do you see the disparity? This is insane. This is the disparity. How do you even claim that Iran's going to win? Only thing you can claim is Iran's going to wait it out. Maybe that way indirectly they will win. And that's all just political BS to me because I don't see that. You know, scientifically, military-wise, USA has been dominant, and of course it is.
Command shut down 4 Iranian suicide drones that were launched towards the Strait of Hormuz. The attack drones posed an immediate threat to regional maritime traffic. US forces subsequently struck Iranian coastal surveillance radar sites in Goruk and on Qeshm Island to defend against the further maritime attacks. Initial assessments indicate 6 of the missiles launched by Iran were intercepted and a 7th did not reach its intended target.
There you go. Well, I'm gonna stop here because I'll check. Like this is the main news, right? It's 30-minute mark. So yeah, that's in today. Like 6 missiles were intercepted. 7th never even reached it. USA's keep bombing things that they find, probably keeping a list. Protests have erupted. I didn't thought that would happen, but I'm surprised that that did happen. All right, because last time they clamped down very severely. 20,000-30,000 people deleted. That is not a small number, people. That is insane. That is a war casualty number, right? So that made me think nobody would protest after, but no, that is happening. That should tell you what is their mentality. Even after that, if they're like, yeah, we're still going to protest, you can already see the picture how it is, right? So I don't know, man. This is just insane, right? If you watch Bill Maher, which is very left wing, even he says that, like, I don't like Trump. I don't like anything conservative right wing. But let's not pretend here that IRGC is a good guy here. And the core reason behind this makes sense. Even he says that. Even if the left wing Bill Maher says that, like, after that you're just arguing with I don't know what. It's insane to me. I'm sure I'm gonna get comments in this video, right? If you can't split Trump from US military, if you think it's all the same, at this point, you're literally cursing your own country. I've said this in the past, I'm going to say it again. Nobody's bigger enemy of America than Americans themselves. This is insane. I've never seen this level of divide in any country. You're the most powerful country. This is a problem, man. Right, well, I'll see you next time.